driver's side ground. In 2016, we've already lost more than 60 peace officers due to gunfire, and nearly a third of those can be attributed to ambushes. And one of the areas where we're specifically vulnerable is the traditional traffic stop. Normally, when we do our traffic stops, we do everything on the driver's side. So today we're going to look at an alternative. It's going to look something like this. Adam, 1 course.
Adam 1, go ahead.
I'll be 1075 with Charles Zebra Young, 1272 at South First and Grape.
Good for Adam 1, 1075, South First and Grape.
Gonna look behind me, make sure there's no traffic coming. Now at this point, most of us would approach the driver on the driver's side, and that's exactly what he or she is expecting. So what we're gonna advocate instead, and we're advocating that this become the mainstay, that this become the predominant way we conduct business, is to do it on the passenger side. So I'm gonna simply walk behind my vehicle, so I don't walk between the vehicles, especially at night. I don't wanna walk in that wall of light that we create. I wanna walk behind my vehicle while not losing sight of that driver. And this part is important. When I approach on the passenger side, I don't wanna walk right up behind the vehicle. Instead, I wanna flare wide. And the reason is, I want to be basically out of the view of the driver using his or her mirrors. So by flaring wide, I can approach, especially at night, they'll have no idea I'm even coming. Now this is important. Usually when we get to this position, the driver doesn't even know we're here. Secondly, by approaching on the passenger side, we recognize that most of our drivers are right-hand dominant. So if they're going to access any firearms to use against us, they're going to do so by using any portion of the console or the actual glove box. Well, by doing it from the passenger side, I can see the majority of the inside of this car. So by seeing the hands of the driver and the majority of the inner portion of the car, I now can make safe contact with the driver. Good morning, ma'am. My name is Stan Standridge. I'm with the Abilene Police Department. The reason I stopped you is you failed to use your blinker. Do you have your license and your insurance? Now, upon receipt of the license and the insurance, most of us return to the driver's side and sit in the actual driver's seat of our vehicle and conduct the rest of the traffic stop. The problem is, we've all recognized over the last couple of weeks that our vehicles can be kill zones. So instead of going back into our car and sitting in the car, which we have limited escape routes from, how about we do everything outside of our car and on the passenger side? So it's going to look something like this. Not losing sight of the driver, I simply return to my car. Most of our vehicles look like cockpits as opposed to a normal vehicle. So if I go sit down on the driver's side, I have a limited escape route. If I stay on the passenger side, however, and actually stay out of the car, I keep my feet, I keep my mobility. I also don't have to worry about traffic striking me. If traffic does strike my vehicle, I'm completely out of the way of getting injured. And again, the driver or the occupants of the car simply don't expect us to stay on the passenger side. From here, I can conduct everything I need to do on the traffic stop. Adam 1, of course, need 2729 local.
Right.
10-4, copy last name, first name, date of birth. Go ahead. 10-4, thank you. So again, I can check for any warrants. I can also check the license history, all of that via dispatch while standing on the passenger side, and I can go ahead and complete the citation if a citation is going to be issued. I can do all of that standing outside watching the driver the entire time. So once I finish the citation, I'm going to re-approach the driver. And again, I can see the interior portion of the car. I can also see his or her hands very clearly, which affords maximum security. So at this point, I would go ahead and issue the citation. At this particular point, everything has been done on the passenger side, unbeknownst to the driver. They don't typically expect it. I don't have to worry about the traffic concerns because annually we have officers struck by other vehicles because they're predominantly watching our vehicle and not necessarily watching us. So we would just suggest that you consider the passenger side approach in conducting all business on the passenger side of the vehicle. And as we do so, everybody needs to be reminded we are Vincible.